Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. This is Christal XO, and this is Monday, which means we are talking grace and gossip. Grace and gossip. I hope everybody had an amazing weekend. I am freshly back. Got in late last night from Detroit, from going out there to co-host the red carpet for Ready to Love in Detroit. I cannot wait to share more from that trip with all of you. Scorpio Mo and I have decided to do the recap for Friday's episode on Wednesday so we can be up to date on Friday. Both of us were just too tired to get together and do it tonight after Grace and Gossip. And Scorpio Mo had to work a full shift. So we decided to do it on Wednesday. So Wednesday we will be there with the full, and we'll put that up. So make sure that you are subscribed so you will get a notification. Wednesday at 8 o'clock, when we usually do dating diaries, we're going to the full recap of Ready to Love Detroit, the premiere episode. Trust me, you definitely want to tune in for that. Also, we will tell you all about our trip to Detroit. It was really interesting. I will say it was very cold. But actually it's cold here in Atlanta, but it was nice. I saw family because I have family that lives in Toledo. That's where I was born. So my family made the quick drive over to Detroit to support, in addition to the red carpet premiere at Parlay. I also had a book signing at Source Books. And so I'll get into all of that. I'll get into all of that on Wednesday, but today it is Grace and Gossip, and I have been lagging behind with everything we had going on over the last couple of weeks. I have been behind, and so tonight we are going to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. I actually have a guest coming on, and we are going to get into it. But I wanted to touch on a few other things prior to that before she jumps on. We have a very, very cool podcaster that also is a fan of Real Housewives of Potomac coming on to have that conversation, with me. But right now we're just going to talk a little bit about, well, first of all, just catch up. If you guys have been watching, there's been so much drama with the situation with Bell Collective. Mo and I missed being able to talk about that. But I'm interested to hear what people think about the whole conversation, or Letitia and Latrice, trying to see if they're going to actually be cool again. We talked a little bit about that before we left, but there was the episode on this past Friday. And I will say this again. I know I've said this several times, but I will say again, I feel my heart really goes out to Letitia, because I think most women of a particular age have dealt at one point in time. At one point in time, you have dealt with a man that has embarrassed you, whether you know it or not. Maybe you didn't know that you were embarrassed, but you were. And I think people like to complain about women not making the men be accountable, and I definitely feel that, because I definitely feel what Latrice said about, if you can't say that I was playing in your face if you're not saying that your man was playing in your face and your man is still at the house. I get it. But I do want to suggest just for the platform, just for our audience, that when you go through something like that, you are really upset. You're upset with everyone. You're hurt. You're embarrassed. You're betrayed. You're humiliated. But the love that you have for that person does not dissipate overnight. It just does not. And as much as we would like it to, I know I have been in situations where I wish I could get rid of the love I had for the person I was with, but it wouldn't go. And so all that was left in this place was a lot of pain, but then you still miss that person. It's a miserable place to be. I hate that for her. I hate that for all of us that have had to deal with it. And I just want to make sure that we're practicing grace when we look at Sugar Pie, please. I thought Sugar Pie could join us again. She is getting back to her normal just Sugar Pie without being a mom. But you don't have to clean yourself there the whole time. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, all right. She has missed being in here when I do, especially Grace and Gossip. So Sugar Pie is back. Her daughter Paisley is still with us. Louie is actually her son. Louie is actually with my cousin Sugar Pie, but she is back with us on Wednesdays. I know a lot of you ask about her and like seeing her face when we do these broadcasts. So anyway, Sugar Pie is back. So anyway, I just wanted to ask that we do that. Hey, just Angela, if you are joining me, make sure that you say hello, leave an X in the chat so I know you guys are there. We are going to be talking about Real Housewives of Potomac and just doing a full catch up because like I said, I did the first episode, all this drama happened with Wendy. And then we had so much going on with Married at First Sight, with Love is Blind. And then of course, Ready to Love that I got a little bit behind. So we're going to catch up tonight on Real Housewives of Potomac. But before we get into that, like I said, I have a special guest that's going to join us in just a bit, and we are going to get into it. So if you are a Real Housewives of Potomac fan, trust me, you want to tune in for tonight's conversation. You want to stay locked in for tonight's conversation because we're going to get all up and through the dynamics between the ladies. Wendy's impending issue that is not, now that we're seeing her, the issue hasn't happened as of yet, but we know that she's going to be talking about it. Hey, Love is Mimi. And then see the dynamic between Tia and Angel, who are both new, Kiana, who was back. It's just a lot going on. So in a few minutes, she is going to be joining us, and my guest is going to be joining us, and we will get into it. But before that, I wanted to ask you guys a question, and that's why I need the chats response. You guys are usually so vocal. So I would love you guys to chime in on this. There is, you guys know I am obsessed with these Facebook groups that are basically created to keep women informed and educated on the Playboy ways of men in these streets. If you are in Atlanta, if you are in DC, if you are in Chicago, if you are in Detroit, these groups are everywhere. And there's even a T app that is nationwide that basically you can inquire about a man before you go out with him, right? Now, I don't necessarily know if these apps work. I think we will have to see like data on them, and it's still very subjective data, right? But I think we'll have to see what happens later. Like, these are new. It's definitely, I mean, these groups have upwards of 50, 80,000 women in them, and women will put up a man's picture. They will also put, sometimes they put where he works, how many children he has. You know, they put a lot of really important statistic information about different men that they meet on a dating app, or even if they met in person, trying to vet the guy, you know. And I think that these apps can be dangerous. I'll tell you guys why. I do think they're entertaining. They're entertaining for me because before I go to bed, I scroll through and I kiki about numerous threads. I mean, you know, from people putting people's husbands out there, and wife comes into the chat. It's wild. But this is the thing. I think that a man treats different women differently overall. Now, there are some parallels, right? If he's a cheater, he's probably going to be a cheater. But depending on where that man is in his life and how he views that woman, it may not be the same. So if I see a man in a group that I am considering dating, like, I don't know, you know, I don't know what my husband was doing in these streets before he and I got together, and I don't want to know. In the wise words of my grandmother, I don't know and I don't want to know. But I'm certain that he didn't ask every single woman that he dated to marry him. So obviously there were some women that he was just dating casually, that he did not pursue for marriage. And so some of those women may feel like he's not worth ish, right? Especially if they liked him and if they saw him as a potential mate or a potential husband, then they probably see him as something very different than I did. When he and I met, he was very intentional. So he was very different with me. I probably have been on the other side of that with men, that when they met the woman that they wanted, they treated her very differently than they treated me. So I think that's the first thing. Everything is subjective. And as a woman, you cannot assume that just because a man interacts with a woman that you've never met on a dating site or on a social media platform one way, that he would treat you the same way. I think the best thing to do is to vet people with your own wisdom and watch what they say, watch their actions, listen to what they say, see if what they say and what they do align. Like, this is all very elementary. I don't think that there should be like a way for you to see if a person is good or not. That just doesn't seem to make any sense. You know what? I'm gonna welcome our guest in for today. She is a writer also. She also has a podcast as well where she talks about pop culture content and all types of good stuff. She and I had the opportunity to connect in person. We've been connected online for a while, but we connected in person in Detroit. So please help me welcome to Christal XO, Rocky from Rocky's Reality. Hey, girl. Oh, I can't hear you. Gotta. There we
right.
go.
Unmute. That will help. Hey, Christal. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It was good to see you again. I want to thank you publicly. Thank you so much for coming out to the book signing. It really meant a lot to me. So I just, when people say that so many people said they were coming. So many people that I even know. So they were coming and did not come. So for someone, to actually show up and actually, support, I really appreciate that. We got to do that for each other more as sisters.
Absolutely. You're welcome. You're welcome. Absolutely. And it's for a great cause. I really appreciated the conversation. It reminded me of some things, even as a married woman, that I should be aware of. So I really appreciated the conversation and the space.
We had a good time. We definitely had a good time. So let me ask you this. I told the audience that we are going to get into all things Real Housewives of Potomac. And we're going to do that in just a second. I got two things to ask you before. Right? Two things before that we could talk about, and then we'll slide into that. First thing is, I enjoy and am thoroughly amused by these dating websites on Facebook and the T app, where women will put a man's picture in and say, does anybody know this guy? I met him on a dating app. Have you seen these?
I've heard about these posts. What's the name of the app? I've heard about this. Like kind of a calling guys out.
Yes, they call them out. But what women do is they will go into the group and say, hey, I was asked out by this guy, or I met this guy online, and one of the sis, is this your man? And they'll say, well, do you know this guy? Right? Mm-hmm. So and what they'll do is they'll say, I'm considering dating him, but depending on the information I get from everybody here, I may or may not date him. I don't think these groups are a good idea. And I was giving the chat my reasons. This is why. Now, I do think, because sis, is this your man, Atlanta? They will put a man's job, sometimes everything, all his information. But I think, number one, how a man treats one woman is not necessarily how he would treat another. And we don't know. I can't vet the person. Now, if you call me and said, Christal, I saw the guy that you're going out, that's different. I can kind of vet, okay, I know that she's a rational person. She's not just hating. A lot of times you don't know who's on the other end of that on the computer. So it could be a jealous ex that he broke up with that's just pissed. It could be a man that's mad.
I can see that.
Way. You know
I can see that, but I also see how it could be helpful and hipping some chicks. Because sometimes people who don't even know you will give you objective information. But I get the point. I see both sides of it. I see both sides of what you said. But I think it's just another way we are using social media to tap into reality. But I get what you're saying, because it could be someone who's like just a whole lie. And we know how women are, honey. Once we get upset.
Yeah. Or it could be a chick that's not like you at all. Like, I know my husband, before he and I got married 5 years ago, I know he was in these Atlanta streets. I don't know what he was doing. I don't want to know. But I know that when he and I met, he was intentional about what he wanted to do with me. Now, I'm sure he was with other women that he might not have wanted to marry, or he did, or maybe their personalities clashed or whatever. So some of them, when they saw me, probably thought, oh, well, but that's not the same version I got. You know what I mean? Yep. So you just don't know. Another reason.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead with that because I want to talk about that
No, I
before we
do
get into
agree with what you're saying that you're not always going to get the same version of the man because
yeah.
it might have been some time. He might have matured. B, he might be
Mhm.
in a different situation in life. So I do agree with that you can't expect he's going to treat you exactly the same way. So that kind of lends to that theory of why do these men break up with one chick who they've been dating for years, and then you get with the next chick and you marry her right away.
And
So
they look at Nelly. Nelly is a great study with this woman for 10, 11 years. They were engaged, never married her. And then he and Ashanti reconnected, and now he immediately was like, I'm gonna marry her, had a baby with her. Every time we see Nelly, all 32 teeth are cheese, and he did not look like that with Miss Jackson. So, they probably have a different experience.
Yep. I agree.
So, but I do understand, some men are just whole scammers. But this is another issue I have with the groups. Because I laugh, I read them to give myself entertainment, right? And Hey You There asked if Ashanti weren't pregnant, would he have married her? Yes, because he said that. He said that he wanted to marry her immediately. They did an interview.
Was the one who got away to him though.
Yeah.
And when they reconnected at Versus, I think he was like, shit, I better stop. I think with the other lady, he was just passing time in a sense. No diss to her, no diss to that lady. But I think Ashanti was the one where he was like, oh, she got away. I got this second chance. Let me get on it.
Yeah, and it's like somebody else will see the other lady like that. Chantal, somebody else will see her as their, the one that they want to be with. Mm-hmm. Maybe. But
was Ashanti pregnant when she was pregnant before they got married?
She was pregnant before they got married. Well, actually, they got married secretly.
Yeah.
So she was married secretly, but his intentions were always, like you said, from the time he saw her at Versus, when they told the story, and I know that for sure because I do know a lot of people that know them very well and I'm around Nelly a lot. So they definitely, that's not a lie. It was locked in from Versus on. So it just depends on how that man sees you, Yeah. But this is another issue I have with the groups. Women will come in and they'll say, you should do not talk to this man. He's a liar. He has unprotected sex, and they'll explain that they had unprotected sex with him. Now, ma'am, that's not his fault.
Right.
That you unprotected sex with him. And I'm telling you, I would say 80% of these threads, when they're given all the reasons why another woman should not, it'll be like, he has unprotected sex. And I'm like,
you did it with him now.
You did it with him. I caught such and such from him. Okay, that's cool to give people a heads up, but girl, you did not make him use protection, so neither one of y'all use protection.
Right. Ma'am, you paid his bills and loaned him money. Like that's, women, we be shooting ourselves in the foot.
I wasn't going to ever do that. So you use that as reasons why another woman shouldn't get with him. Another woman may not allow him to sleep with her without protection. She may not loan him money because that's in there a lot too. I gave him money. He didn't give it back. He took my car. He did. Girl.
You're making yourself, wait a minute. I need to be added to one of these groups, Christal, just so I can be nosy. And it's cute. It's funny to me how women, we do all of these type things and men are not doing these things. And is there a male group that has it like where they post about women like that?
There's not.
I think we're doing too much.
We do. Now men do a lot of lying. Women do too. But I mean, men will hide because there's a lot of women that come on there and it's like, I didn't know he had a family. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know he had, and then sometimes the wife will come and be like, this is his girl. It is a whole soap opera. It is a whole Tyler Perry situation. But my thing is, at the end of the day, if you're in alignment with yourself and you're using discernment, you're gonna know if somebody you'll out taking all that information and putting him in a chat. I would never put a man, because some women gonna look him up just because they want to do that just to cause trouble.
Exactly. Yeah, I think overall it's a bad look for the women who post the information because it's kind of making you look bad in a sense. It is. It is.
And they allow the women to post anonymously. That's another thing. So the women post anonymously, but you don't post this man's job, what he looks like, how many
Mhm.
kids he has. Where like that's not. It's not cool. Somebody's gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know when.
Yeah.
This gonna be a bad ending to this story
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's
And these groups have been going on for a while though. When you
yeah.
said it, it's like I remember something from a couple years ago, similar
Mhm,
where somebody was talking about this. So this has been going on for a while. And this is why I call social media a gift and a curse. It's a
mhm,
gift and
mhm.
a curse because of behaviors like this. It just causes us to, and I hate when women say, "Oh, I'm trying to find me a king." It's like your king needs to find you, not you be seeking him out. And it's
That's
just
true.
kind of that pick me type behavior that
Mhm.
has just manifested in this way.
It is, and I do think
Because what man want to be with you after this? Is it just like who and what type of character? I mean, like if you again, I would take it more from a chick that I knew, even if she was an
yeah,
associate or acquaintance. I'd be like, "Hey, Christal, look, I see you was
yeah,
dating Scorpio Mo, and
right,
now let me give you the 411 on him."
yeah. Hell no.
That yeah,
Right. Yeah, yeah, but that makes sense. Somebody that you know, I do think women should help each other out, right? And we should not get mad at the other woman, understand it's him. But in these cases, they would even, I've even seen someone post the wife. This is what his wife looks like. She ain't cute. I mean, it's disgusting at some point. It's not helpful. When the group
right.
first started, it was, sis, is this your man? And it was a lot of men that were getting caught out there lying about who they were in relationships with. But now it's gone to this is Thomas, he's 49, he works for such and such. Like y'all doing too much, putting the man's information out there. And all you're doing is opening up for another woman to be like, well, he cute. Let me holler at him.
Exactly, exactly. Because you know how we gonna be hard headed and be like, "Well, let me see." Let me
Mm-hmm.
see how he is when I talk to him. It's
Mm-hmm.
definitely dangerous behavior. And I think it's just, again, indicative how our culture has devolved in a way.
It
Because
is.
there's no way back in the day, women, I'm going to be fighting over a man or being that on it about the man. And that he will put or embarrassing myself by putting it out there that I am involved with somebody like that, not to strangers.
Not just trying. I would not. That's what I'm saying. It's like we don't have a shame culture anymore. Nobody is ashamed. You should be embarrassed that you slept with that man after 2 dates. He didn't spend any money on you, and now you're mad because you caught something. Why would you even share that? You need to be taking.
Exactly.
You have a problem. He don't. It's you. Sis, it's
Oh,
you.
dear alpha
It's,
female,
it's,
it's you, not him. It's not
it's,
him, it's you. For real.
it's you. It is you. I got another question for you. So I saw this. I thought this was really interesting, and I wanted us to talk about this tonight because I knew you were coming on. So this headline was on social media. A North Carolina woman wins over $1.7 million against former best friend who slept with her now ex-husband. Now, to my understanding, I want to see if you think this was the right judgment. This is crazy. There are some states that have that alienation of affection law. So if you and your husband are married and someone comes into the marriage and your husband has an affair with her, you can sue her for alienating your husband. In some states, not in others. In some states. So in this situation, I don't know what city it is. I think it's one of the Carolinas. Imagine letting your best friend stay in your house and you working on your marriage while she's there, and she ends up in bed with your husband. This young lady that I just posted, it happened to her. She took it to court, and the jury handed her 1.75 million. She sued the mistress and won. She initially requested 3.5 million in punitive and cumulative damages, but she was only given 1.575, and she was seen crying and hugging supporters after the verdict. And the other woman just walked out. First of all, I don't know if the other woman has $1.75 million.
Right. Right. And this is reminding me of that when Fantasia, wasn't it like when Fantasia got divorced or something from her first husband. And okay, so what about sue his ass though too though?
See, you can't. That's the thing. That's the thing that makes the law kind of strange. You cannot sue him. You can only sue the person who comes in. Now she's divorced from the husband, so I don't know if he's with the woman still. But this is the problem with this though, Rocky, is it was her best friend.
Right.
So it was her best friend, and what she thought, and she allowed the young woman to come, the friend to come into her house. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay. Now this is kind of like, again, remind me of someone else, Kiki Shear, when she was like, "You can't stay in my house."
Yeah.
Look, since you wanted to get a hotel. First of all, how big is this house?
Right.
What was the situation? Why did the best friend need to stay there? You know, now if you need to sleep on the couch, if a best friend comes over and she done got too drunk to drive home, okay, boo, sleep it off on the couch. But living with me and my husband, no. Now I'm not blaming her, but that right there, that decision right there opened up the door right there. Not to say that you should be able to trust your husband and your best friend, but I just don't think it was a good decision to do that at all. And I want to know some more details about the nature of their relationship, this best friend.
Again, allegedly,
but you can't be living here. Can't nobody be living here. No.
Family is on a tight line.
Listen, like I said, if you need to sleep off your drunken night on the couch, that's one thing. But living here, no.
I was because I have girlfriends, and I feel like I do have girlfriends, and if they come over, because we live a ways out, I don't mind people staying over, you know, but we have enough space. They're not right up under him. They're not walking around in, you know, lingerie and pajamas around my husband, but that's not living here.
Exactly.
But I also feel like and I could be naive. But I don't feel like I had a kind of girlfriends I would have to worry about. I don't want them kind of girlfriends. Like, I don't believe I have the type of girlfriends I would have to worry about doing something like that. Because Oprah made this statement that you cannot have friends that are jealous of your life. So if you got a friend that always got something negative to say about your husband, or I don't know, I just don't feel like I have friends.
But what if that friend wasn't like that? You don't know who you can't trust until they show you. Like, how do you know she wasn't a good friend and she put up a front?
That's true.
And I agree with that. Definitely, you shouldn't have people around you. But it's like, how do you know they jealous of you until you get into certain situations?
This is true.
So who knows if that friend was a good friend and she was, you know, always supportive of the relationship, and she seemed like a good friend she can trust. And then all of a sudden. Nah, but it's definitely more on the man, though. Let me be clear about that. But this is when I blame the other woman, because if you know I'm married to him, your ass should not be entertaining or trying to solicit him. That's when I blame. Now, when women, side chicks say, "Oh, I didn't know he was married," I can understand that. However, when you are, and we live in this no shame culture, when you are a chick, you know damn well that's my husband.
Right.
Your ass needs to act accordingly.
Right.
He needs to act accordingly, but also you are culpable as well, because you should not be entertaining any inappropriateness with him as my husband, and you know that's my husband. That's
everybody needs to ask.
And the husband would get it too.
Everybody say he probably gonna get it first because we made vows, but she gonna get hers too. She's my friend. Like, but allegedly,
I'm calling the cousins. Somebody about to get beat up.
Yeah, I'm calling the cousins from Toledo.
Listen, come on.
Real. But in this situation, allegedly, the woman was moved in to help her with her kids and her family, so that she would have more time for the husband. Because the husband just wanted more time. She got kids. No, she was just giving them some help. She wasn't necessarily as that. But you know what? When men start crying about being neglected, that can be a slippery slope into something else. You don't let nobody know when your man is unhappy. You don't let him move in, period. But that just does not seem like a good he's already upset because he's not getting time from you, and you move someone in that got all the time.
Yep.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, it's another, it would have been a different solution for me. I really want to understand the dynamics of this story, because I would really need to understand, why did you feel like moving your girlfriend in was the solution to you spending more time with your husband?
Why?
We couldn't, we couldn't get just a babysitter where y'all can go do date night. We don't have any, we couldn't have dropped the kids off at someone's house. We don't have no family. What is the situation? I don't know. It's something is not adding up.
Something is not adding up. But I know one thing. If that did happen and I did sue, I would stay on her ass until I got she probably wouldn't have a 1.75, but I'd be.
How does that work though?
You garnish every check, because what happens is, if the state there's a judgment against you, then whenever they get a job, whenever they have money coming in, that money comes, you get a percentage of that. So I would be she could not work in the United States without me looking.
Would I have to wait till she accumulates that amount of money before I get my money, or I'm just going to
get a little bit out of everything, like child support? You got to pay taxes. You got to make an arrangement. You only have this amount, but you're gonna pay me every time you get paid until that judgment is up. I would not let up just for the principle of it. Just for the principle.
I don't know if I would that still make me feel better though? I would still be feeling like shit, but I would be rich, I guess.
Well, I don't know if the friend has 1.7 if she was living with her.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. How is that coming in? Because she obviously, what type of job does she have? Because if she only making $100,000 a year, shit, how much am I? I'm gonna get 10,000 of that for how? I mean, like, how's that going?
I don't know, but I would get every single penny of whatever she had. But yeah, I can't pull it up right now. But I just thought that was crazy. Yeah, she slept with her best friend, and these are social media influencers. And it did happen in North Carolina. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they have some special laws there, because I don't even know. They probably don't have anything like that here in Michigan.
No, I don't think so. No, that's the Bible Belt, okay, so the lawyer mentioned that the lady had been pregnant, had a miscarriage, and the other one, the friend, yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, she initially sued her 3.5 million because she has 3 million followers. North Carolina is one of the few states that still allows people spurned by infidelity to sue the person their spouse cheated with. And she accused the other lady of posting photos. So I guess the husband and the wife got divorced, and he was with the woman. So she's flaunting in her face that she now had her husband.
And so that's what prompted her to sue her. The husband. Hold on now. Outside the courtroom, Timothy Montague was arrested Wednesday and charged with carrying a concealed weapon and a weapon in the courthouse. Yikes. So you got an old hood guy, huh?
Well, I mean, probably thinking about that money. That was his cousin that had the gun. His cousin had the gun. The husband's name is Devin. He filed for divorce. So this just happened in March of 2025.
Wow. And these are all influencers, supposedly. These are all influencers. What are they influencing? Sounds like they under the influence. They need to learn how to be influenced better.
But see, that goes to your point. Influencing. The gift and the curse of social media. Speaking of the gift and the curse of social media, let's jump into Real Housewives of Potomac, because I wanted to start with Wendy, but because we're talking about social media, let's start with our girl Angel here. I do not have the photo. Angel was shamed on the show by Giselle and Ashley and actually all the ladies were laughing about it.
Yeah.
Except Anna, because she posted filters of herself. Well, filters on her pictures, and I'm not gonna lie, the picture did not look like her at all. But Giselle brought it up over dinner in Nevis when the ladies went to Nevis, brought it up and basically asked Angel point blank, why does this picture not look like you? What is that about? And then Ashley was like, yeah, I looked at you. I looked at the picture and I did not know who that was. What was that about? What were your thoughts on that scene when you saw that?
Just straight up mean girl behavior. First of all, Giselle is not my favorite. I can't stand her ass. I think she's just an old, mean, miserable broad. And I feel like Ashley is her little lap dog, a little gnat who needs to be smashed. Now, I agree. The photo did not look like Angel. However, when you are a woman who has gained a considerable amount of weight, you've had a baby.
Yes.
And who doesn't use a filter? Now, I don't really like using filters, but people use them. And I feel like all of them have used filters. All of them have posted pics, especially with them being on a TV show. All of them have posted images of themselves that they would like the world to see. And I just felt like they were testing Angel and just trying to pick with her. And then you wondering why she's not opening up to you, because y'all are some mean girls. I just feel like Giselle and Ashley have no real storyline. So now their storyline is to nitpick with the other women and to try to test them. So I'm not a fan of either one of them. And I feel like Angel is going through some postpartum too. I'm sensing with her babies being as young as they are, I feel like some of the way the production is cutting it to make her look so emotional and that she's just not gelling with the women. I think part of that is postpartum, but also her letting them know, back up off me. Yeah. But I thought that was just a mean girl moment and unnecessary.
It was. I agree with you 100%. I thought it was sad to see on television because, as you said, we know she just had a baby. She's still breastfeeding, right? She was worried about being away from her baby for the first time. This is the first trip that she was away from the baby. So, I felt like Giselle is mean. I agree with you. Giselle is mean and doesn't have
no damn reason.
Like, well, she don't have anything going on, but Giselle also is not going to tell you her business. So she throws rocks and hides her hands. So Ashley's just a ditz, and she don't have no purpose at all. So I see this friendship. Giselle has a new minion, like Robin used to be that, and now Ashley got more personality than Robin did. Robin didn't have any personality; she was just up under Giselle. But I see now that Ashley, it's crazy because Giselle is like that mean girl that all the other girls follow that want to be like her. Because I feel like Wendy wants to be up under her so bad, because Wendy was like, they asked Wendy how she felt about Giselle doing that to Angel. And instead of saying that was a mean thing to say, Wendy was like, oh, well, it just looks like I've been on the other side and I know how Giselle is, but I'm just glad it's not me. And then she's doing so much to try to make it seem like Giselle and her are cool. She was like, now Giselle and I are friends. Giselle don't like you. Giselle has never liked you. Giselle has pretty privilege. You don't have it. She don't see you that way. So please,
even if y'all saw roars.
Even if y'all saw roars, and even if you do plastic surgery and now you're super thin, you still don't look like Giselle.
Nope.
Don't get that twisted. She don't see you the same. It is ridiculous. And I feel like that was so mean. And the next couple of days later, in the trip, Tia
I like her.
I like Tia too.
I'm here for Tia. I love her.
Tia came back and doubled down on that's old girl. That's my girl Kiana. But Tia doubled down on Jay. Is it Jasmine? What's the friend? Jazzy. She said, well, your pictures are also filtered, and they are. All of them filter their pictures. But the picture that they put side by side on the screen with Jazzy, girl, them pictures was overly filtered. And she came back with the worst clapback ever. Mad because she just tried. Jazzy is there just trying to hold on. She's trying to hold on. But I like Tia. She was like, wait a minute. Everybody is talking about old girl, but look at your pictures.
And I like the way she handled Ashley too. I like the way she handled Ashley when Ashley tried to get on her. She was like, I apologize. So what we doing here? She was like, I'm not about to keep doing this with you, boo. I love the way she eloquently and sternly handled her. But I love that's the part that Tia is playing. She's not being intimidated. She's not letting them talk smack to her. She's coming back with the quick quips. I love how she is what she's adding to the group.
Yeah,
and it's only fair. It's only. And then what are we talking about here? Why are y'all worried about me posting filters? Like, is this really what we grasping at here? Do we not have enough material for the episode?
They do not. And to make her answer to that, everybody just like. They literally put her, now she does, I agree with you. She is probably dealing with some postpartum and also some self-esteem issues, right? Because I know.
But she gained quite a bit of weight. She has. Since her BBT days, she has.
I think that the cameras showing her, she wasn't probably ready to be on this season. I would say that. Because unless you really have a good sense of self,
yeah,
you know,
and to be a new mother, and I think part of it is too her being a new mother, and all of them have older children. And only some of them are married. It's a clash there. It's a clash of interest because you're not going to understand fully what she is going through. So I think that's part of it as well. But you might be right about that. But I think they had to scramble to try to fill up the grand dame's absence.
Yes. And I also think they're trying to find somebody who actually has a husband, and her husband being a successful, athlete and having that type of it does seem right. But one of the things I feel like she's doing, because she doesn't feel confident in herself, which my heart goes out to her, because I know women, we're so hard on ourselves. We're hard on each other. We're hard on ourselves. And her showing up, she just doesn't look like she was ready. Everybody has a hard first season as far as like getting their look together, getting their fashions together, getting their hair together. Everybody's first season is rough. But because, like you said, she is still struggling with the baby weight, and the first thing she's doing is hiding behind my husband. So Bobby said he don't play about me, and he da. And Bobby sent me $5,000, and Bobby, like, girl, Angel, like, you cannot use the man as validation. You got to just have that for yourself. So you got a successful, wealthy, professional playing husband. Great, but you can't hide behind that on a show like this. So when Giselle was like, well, we all here for ourselves. You keep talking about Bobby. We're here because she's right. Like, Angel got to talk about herself.
When she tried to introduce them to the sound healing, that was her showing them, and they were like, "Oh, we were bored. We were bored." I thought that was rude as hell. Like, she was trying to show them this is a part of her in her journey. And I just feel like they're jealous because women who are happy in their marriage, they're not gonna mind you talking about your boo at times. I don't know. I just feel like maybe the producers are we got to remember too, the producers and the editing, it can be a mug. So I felt like she was trying to show a piece of herself with that sound healing, and then she definitely bragged about being aware.
They see her as fresh blood in the water because she don't have a strong personality like the other ones, because she does keep waffling back and forth. She does act different around Kierna than she does when Kierna's not there. When Kierna's there, she hides up under her. When she's not, she tries to be cool with the other girls. She got to find her place. But one thing I say, and as a married woman to another married woman, I'm happy with my husband. I love him. But I'm not one of them girls gonna be like, my husband said. No, I said, now he got my back, but I'm not gonna come tell you what my husband said about you talking about me. No, that's me and you. Now, if her husband said something, if a man said something, but I'm not And I probably would call my husband and tell him if some girls were being mean to me. But going back and saying, well, Bobby said that she looked old, that she like,
yeah,
you gotta stand on your own. You can't do that.
I think she might be in a place because also she was a career woman or is a career woman, and I think she's in that transitional stage when your babies are little. It's like you do get lost in the mommy wife life, inadvertently, and that's something I went through as well. When my children were smaller, I was consumed with what's happening with them and my husband. But now that they're older, I've been able to separate that. But I just feel like too, Kierna, she kind of get on my nerves. I don't like the way she represented Angel too. I didn't like that, and I feel like Kierna is a high maintenance friend. I feel like she's trying to act like her relationships are more than they are. And maybe I'm missing something because I'm like, why was you going off on Wendy? Were y'all really friends like that? Like, I'm missing something. Like, why are you so needy, Kierna? And just, I liked her when she was a friend of the show. Now that she got a peach, I'm like, Kierna, you're doing too much. Can't handle it.
I feel like that's why she's making all these fake beefs. Because she's trying to stay relevant.
Right.
And like her being mad at Giselle over something Giselle said 2 seasons ago and having a problem with it. It's like, girl, you weren't even cool with them at that point. Who cares? Yeah, she's definitely, I don't like this season. Her energy is combative and unnecessary.
I don't like it. And I don't like how she tried to backtrack when what she said about, she chin checked Angel. It's like, and she tried to lie, and then Angel was like, look, did you say it or not? So but my thing is with this group at times, and I know this is for production's sake, but I really don't appreciate at times how we have to speak about individual beefs in front of everybody else. Yeah, I don't really, and I get it. I know it's a show and they've got to show it, but like, I appreciate how last night's episode where Jazzy took Angel to the side and spoke to her privately about something instead of in front of the whole group. So that's the dynamic at times. I feel like certain stuff needs to be discussed between the two ladies who have an issue and not everybody else. And I just feel like, Kierna, I do feel like she's reaching quite a bit because Greg ain't marrying you. Not anytime soon.
And
listen, I love the way Jazzy got her together. Like, listen, despite what's happening with Jazzy, she still got a ring, right? She's still about to get married. And for what Kierna, when they was at the track, and she was like, "Oh, what you got 2 stepchildren?" That was just nasty.
She said, "I know you struggling. I know you struggling." I'm like, both of y'all, hush.
It wasn't. I like Jazzy though. I kind of like. I like her. Now I didn't like the way she kind of blew up at was it
at Tia?
At Tia, yes, it was Tia. I was like, wait, I thought that was inappropriate. That wasn't.
Jazzy is a friend. She don't ever need to be a housewife. Period. She's a friend to me. She just doing too much. She's a fun girl, but she don't have the substance I think that you would need. Not that she just don't fit to me. I'm not a Jazzy fan.
You don't think so? I think she could grow into one.
No,
I would take her over Kierna.
See, I like Kierna first season.
I did, but now I'm not liking her.
She's struggling this season. She doing the same thing Marlo did. She doing the same thing Marlo did. You remember when Marlo got?
You too much though, Kierna. I really feel like Kierna is trying to be too relevant, and
she is. You remember when Marlo got a peach, and then her shit went to hell. She just started doing too much, and that's what it is. She doing the same thing, and I feel like she needs to just relax. And she be throwing shade at Angel. She's the friend that wants to be the pretty friend, and you be in my shadow. That's how she feels, because she said she took up for Angel and said, well, she just had a baby, and I know that that's how I remember her. She said, but my pictures aren't, she said, everybody else uses filter, but not me. I look much better in person. Like, girl, that's low.
Is that supposed to be, is that not your friend? No. And see, that's what I'm saying. That's your friend outside the show, supposedly. So why are you talking like that? And see,
Yeah.
I think that's might be what's throwing Angel off too, is that Kierna might be giving her a different energy when
Yeah.
she's around her. You can't mix the friends. All friends don't mix together. That's what women's got to realize. Some friend groups ain't mixing together.
This friend group, Angel did not need to come. Either Angel needs to be there by herself or Kierna needs to be there by herself, because the two of them together is causing too much trouble because they're trying to be loyal, but yet get more shine than the other one.
Yeah.
So Kierna's trying to outshine everybody, and she's beautiful, girl, but she is beautiful, but her attitude this season is nasty. Angel actually has the substance, right? So she got the babies, she has the career, she got the husband, she has the education behind her, because Wendy could try to shade her, but she was the same school Wendy was at. Wendy just don't like other women being on that level, but she just is struggling with herself. I think she should have came on as a friend of the show first.
Yep. I agree. Yeah, because having a baby, and again, as a mother, I get it. And her baby, the baby is like, what is the baby even a year old? The youngest baby?
You're pumping milk, so the baby is still breastfeeding. So.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's a precarious time as a woman and a mother, and it's hard for you to show up in relationships the way you need to show up. And I think the women are taking advantage of that and judging her off of that. And I feel like still she's like trying to get to know them, and they're still trying to get to know her. So but again, they probably were scrambling to fill something in because the Grand Dame.
And then so they lost the Grand, all in 2 seasons, the Grand Dame, Candace, and Robin, and Mia. So they was a lot of, because remember Mia left, and
I like Mia.
Mia's a hot mess.
But she was interesting. Like she brought some interesting drama to the show, and you know who I like? I like Stacii.
Let's do it. Let's get on Stacii, girl. Because what the hell is Stacii doing? Girl, what the hell is Stacii?
But they are so mean to her unnecessarily.
They are, because she's not taking up for herself. She just takes it. So she gonna have to snap back on them, because they are all being mean to her. They are playing in her face. And part of me feels like Stacii is unbothered by them. Stacii knows she's beautiful. She's kind of, and she's just playing along. But another part of me wants her to shut them down, because it's enough.
But I think she's getting there. Because, like when they were on the bus, on that party bus, she checked them, and I think she on the trip. She was letting them know, like now that whole Giselle not putting her name on stuff. I'm like, come on now.
That was lame.
But I think like Stacii I think she's like, she's putting it out little by little. She's checking them little by little. I don't think it's like not in her nature to just go off. So she's trying to have some decorum with it. But I like the way at times she does check them. Like when they were questioning her about Chris Samuel, she was like, we went on a date while I was divorced and separated. So I think it's gonna come a time where she really gets in their ass though, because they deserve it. Because it's like they're just being mean for no reason. And after the time,
I agree with you, but I do. Stacii be lying, just like Mia be lying. Stacii be lying.
What did Stacii lie about? You think she lied about paying the guy?
Well, first of all, yes, it was proven that
where the receipts that she paid you? Where's the receipts?
There was a written contract between her and that guy. That it literally was legit. It came out. It's online. She was really paying that guy.
I don't think she lied about the divorce though. I mean,
hold on. We're not even there yet. Hold on. That guy, every scene that TJ and Stacii had did not connect at all. There's no way.
And I thought he was gay. So I mean,
yeah, I'm sure. Stacii wanted a storyline to be on the show.
Yeah.
And her and the husband, I don't believe her and the husband are really back together. When that man sent back, you have the wrong person, I lost it. Even when they were having dinner and she was like, I don't understand why we have googly eyes. And he was just like, I don't know. Like, he is not.
I think it's like a cultural thing with him being German. I think that's part of it. I think it's like it's a cultural disconnect. Maybe his sense of humor. I don't know. I like me some Stacii though.
I like her. She's funny, but she lies. And she lies openly. She gets caught. But see, this all of them lie. But Stacii's lies be coming back around. Just like Mia. Mia would lie, just lie. Like, you said that this may be this man's baby. That is not Ink's baby. And you knew that. She knew it. She would lie about being the owner of this company. Her and her husband had. We knew that. They was living in a tiny apartment damn near in Baltimore. We knew that Mia was lying. To me, Stacii tells the same type of stupid lies. Now, does Giselle lie? Absolutely. Giselle just doesn't tell you her business.
And I don't like that about her.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
All of them.
I had and see, that's partly at times. Hold on, let me plug in my laptop. At times, this kind of reminds me of my former sister circle. Like, you want to put me out on Front Street, but you don't want to be vulnerable. What type of sisterhood is that? Are we really friends? Now, my thing is, I get people. Some people are more private than others, right? And you don't feel comfortable, and you're not. But you cannot expect to dissect other people's stuff, and you're not going to be vulnerable as well. And for me, I feel like Giselle is emotionally stunted. It's like whenever someone tries to show her any type of emotion or some type of affection, she puts up this block. And just to me, it's like, girl, F you. I'm for real. That's how I feel when I see Giselle. Like, girl, she's, and I don't get why they flock to her so much. Like, but she's been on the show the longest, right? So of course
I think Giselle is a very beautiful woman. And I think I'm gonna say it. She has the features in our culture that have been worshipped for a long time. So she got the green eyes and the light hair and the bright skin. It's old school paper bag test and and that's
she gives us light-skinned chicks a bad name. I'm gonna be real. As a light-skinned chick, she gives us a bad name because it's chicks like her, and she's the typical. Of course, she's an AKA, so that's the typical. Yeah. But it's like chicks like her give light-skinned, down-to-earth, light-skinned chicks like me a bad name. You got light skin and the pretty eyes, and do you act like a bitch? Like it's just so feeding into the stereotype.
She's a typical stereotype of what that is. Yeah, she's a typical mean girl. Like, she could have been cast on one of those shows as the mean girl. And Robin,
I started like seeing her as a wannabe on School Days.
Yeah, and Whitley on A Different World, and her little sidekick, the same type of thing. But it's crazy because when you put somebody in there, I think the reason that everybody worships Giselle is because they do see her as this. Because why is Wendy kissing her ass so much? Why did Ashley? I mean, people really do treat her like she's better. That's the problem. So, but back to Stacii, because Stacey's very beautiful, as Stacey's gorgeous and knows it, right? She looks like a Barbie doll, like a real life Barbie doll, but she's ditzy. Stacii be saying stuff, you'd be like, girl, what?
Or you think she's playing a role of ditzy?
I think it's both.
I think she be playing a role sometimes. I think she know what she's doing.
I think it's like Jessica Simpson. You remember when Jessica Simpson was on that show playing stupid? Do I think Jessica Simpson is stupid? Yes. Do I think Jessica Simpson was playing a role? Yes. I think Stacii is ditzy and plays into that because she's figured out that's what works.
Yep. Yeah.
Because she definitely, her dancing and, I didn't know that. There's girl, what is going on? And even how she interacts, her going after Chris, and then Ashley was like, well, who here hasn't dated an athlete?
But why does that matter though? Does she know Monique? So why does it matter though? Even if she was dating him, I'm confused as to why that's the issue, because she knows of Monique, but she doesn't know her. So
she never met her. She said she had never met her.
So why is it an issue if she's dating Monique? If she was, why? I'm trying to understand, why would that be tea? Like, why was that such a thing?
Why was Wendy screaming at the table like she found out the biggest, like, ooh, she was acting
like what? Okay, so
African said Giselle does not like beautiful women. Prime example, Monique. She thinks that's why Giselle does not like Monique or even Stacii.
Yeah,
because Stacii to me is really. I mean, we talking about just look. She's really Ashley. Ashley is too. I can't stand Ashley. Well, I don't even not like Ashley. I just have no use for Ashley because she just doesn't have much going on. But physically, she's a pretty. She's a pretty girl.
She's gorgeous, and I liked her toward the early part of the show. But as the show has gone on, and I really appreciate how she's evolved and gone through her divorce and she found herself and all of that. But I don't like how she has become Giselle's lapdog. I don't like how it's like I can tell the producers are telling her, yes, say this and get this conversation going. It's like she's a plant in a way. And it's just too obvious that you are just trying to stir up some shit.
And she don't have nothing else going on.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, you ain't got shit else to do. That's why I said she's like a gnat who need to be smashed. Like, I'm over her. Like, Ashley, go somewhere. Like,
I also feel like she's full of it. Like that whole I'm blooming. You married a rich man. You married a man for money because your mama taught you to do that.
Yeah.
Because you're biracial, you look a certain way, get that rich white man. And then when that didn't work out, now you want to play victim, but you're really not victim because you and the man was doing threesomes. He wants to keep having threesomes. Now you don't want to do it. You're not a victim, Ashley. That's not a victim. That's not the same thing. All of a sudden now, well, I mean, yeah, we did do that. Ashley's all over the place. She's just all over the place. She just, like I said, she doesn't stand for anything, in my opinion. She's just kind of all over the place, so I don't respect her. But I do think that when we're talking about Stacii, a lot of things that she says don't add up. The TJ thing was crazy. She was awkward the first season. That dinner with her divorced husband felt like a reach to try to continue to be on the show with a storyline with a man. I don't believe they're really together. I don't care about culture. They've been together a long time. He knows her. And he knew what he was saying when he said, I think you have the wrong number. And she didn't send a provocative picture. She just sent a picture of herself. Yes, she had cleavage out, but she dresses like that all the time. She was trying to flirt with him for the show, for the girls. And he was just like, what? Even when at the table, when she said, we're giving each other googly eyes, that man was not giving her no googly eyes. He was sitting there looking like, I'm supposed to be here because you asked me to be here. He's not.
Good point. It was given awkward. But then, of course, Ashley went and ran and told so quickly. Like, girl.
But Stacii is a liar. Stacie's a liar. She looks like a Barbie doll, but she's a liar.
She's a beautiful liar.
Liar. Like the rest of them
like
on the show.
Karen said, she's a beautiful liar. Yeah.
Beautiful liar. Yeah, she is. She's a ditzy, beautiful liar. But I do like her. I like her on the show.
I like her too. I do.
She's a
you
good
gotta lie a little bit to be on that show, though. You gotta,
and you gotta have a little bit of like, girl, what? Like that kind of like it makes it interesting.
Exactly.
It makes it interesting.
Exactly.
All right, before I let you get out of here, we gotta talk about Wendy.
Oh,
we must talk about Wendy.
Lord, Wendy.
Because I will say, Wendy, I know Wendy got a new stylist, and this season she is flawless. The look is flawless.
It's much better. Flawless. It's much better.
But it is, because at first it was not giving.
Yeah, but much better. It's much better. The makeup is much better. Before other seasons, it was too light.
The weave is much better. But what I feel like is Wendy has tried to dumb herself down. And we learned why. She's very impressed with like Ashley and Giselle and girls that are pretty but don't have brains. And I feel like we see her trying to emulate that. Why are they having a conversation where, like, to Stacey's point, why is Wendy asking me about balls? Isn't she an academic? Like, I was like, Stacey's right. Wendy's trying to dumb herself down, and to me, it just looks crazy. And then we learn these allegations of her and her husband doing all this stuff, trying to keep up, because these fashions are labels. It's very expensive. It's very couture. And now we learn that all of this was able to be accomplished with the alleged insurance fraud. It just looks crazy to me. It looks like a smart girl that didn't value herself and is trying to be something else. And it's sad.
Yeah, with your 4 degrees. With her 4 degrees. And I don't like, I really don't like how she tries to co-sign with Giselle either now.
Yeah.
I really don't like that. I liked how she started out standing on her own more so.
She did.
And it seems like now she's kind of that whole, oh, me and Giselle are fine. I'm like, oh, girl, please.
I consider Giselle a friend.
Because Giselle will chop your ass up when she get the chance to as well. So I just really, Wendy has, I think she is trying to secure her position on the show more so by trying to.
I think she's insecure around the pretty girls, and she wants to be a pretty young girl, and she wants to get away from, because she talks different. Before, she used to speak like a person that was a political analyst, and now she's about, I just wanted to kiss this girl that had braces. What?
Too much, maybe too much Happy Eddie. She maybe didn't. I'm just saying, maybe too much Happy Eddie. And I would hope that they would not be that dumb to do that, though, with this insurance fraud.
But how could it be not with all the evidence?
Like that, but that's some really smart dummy stuff. Were y'all struggling? Did y'all really need to do that?
No, but you know what? I heard allegedly, this is what the streets are saying, that what is, oh girls, oh my gosh, now Atlanta, Shamia just filed bankruptcy and is leaving her and has to move out of the estate, right? Allegedly. I don't know. Allegedly. But I think this is what happens. I think Wendy and Happy Eddie were very well off. I think when you come on a reality show like Real Housewives of Potomac and you try to wear couture every day, you try to go to events and live at this, look at Portia trying to marry rich men to give you millions and millions. 1 million, 2 million ain't enough. I got to get more and more because I'm trying to keep up this facade of what I really have, and nobody has that. She was a professor, he's a lawyer. She was doing all these different things, and it still is not going to give you couture every day. That doesn't make it. That couture every day is fraud.
But she was a CNN correspondent too. You don't think she has some money from that?
I think she has some money. I don't think she had money for couture every day.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think she had money for couture every day. Because really, who has money for couture every day?
But are some of those companies maybe letting her, wear the stuff for free as free promotion?
Some could, but I don't think so. But look at the difference. Look at the difference between the first season when she came and she was dressed like she could afford, and I'm sure she's gotten raises. But the lifestyle, I heard so many reality stars saying trying to keep up with the lifestyle that they promote it kills people. It kills people. Yes, you have money. I think she definitely has money, but a $7 million ring, or that ring that she had on that she reported as missing and then was seen wearing, like that kind of stuff. Like, but who has the money to buy $7 million? I'm just saying, like, the numbers that they were saying were crazy, right? To be able to collect $500,000 almost in insurance fraud for designer clothes and jewelry. You got to think about the events they're going to. You want to be able to. You can't wear, now you can wear something on TV and turn it back in. You can't wear something to an event, get your sweat in it, and turn it back in. You got to buy that, baby girl. You gotta buy that.
I wonder if also they were trying to like get money to invest in Happy Eddie too.
But all the money that they were getting was for designer clothes. The play-by-play, it was $2,000 here, $5,000 here. All of them get caught up. All of them. Sheba Sheree was supposed to be doing Sheba Sheree, but she wrapped in Dolce & Gabbana every day. Girl, what? How are you going to afford that?
Girl, Shiesty by Sheree is more like it.
That's right.
I mean, look. So does this constitute jail time?
She could. I mean, there could be jail time with it because it was $500,000. It was $400 something thousand. That's a lot. And there was like 11 charges: lying to the police, tampering with the evidence as far as the cameras. Because when their home was robbed, the video showed no forced entry, no one in the house, but yet you've shown the police the video of drawers being, the house being ransacked. Who ransacked it? Who ransacked it?
I just
So
can't
I
believe they
think
would
they
be that dumb. No, damn.
probably
I'm
thought because
disappointed.
they're looked at as so well off that nobody would think it was a crime. And I do know this, I'm not gonna say no names, but I do know there are a lot of celebrities that do insurance fraud. I know some here in Atlanta and have gotten away with it because of course they're gonna believe that you have those high priced items.
I could believe it, because even regular people doing insurance scams. So I could believe a celebrity, because the more money you make, the more you spend. So
yeah, the more you get to higher level and the more opportunities to be put on to something because of what you have.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think those shows are a trap. I think that when you get on the show trying to keep up the look and to be one of those girls is a lot of pressure.
Nope. That's why you could never pay me enough. Never. I'll be done punch somebody in the throat just with all the antics and the shit talking and trying to test me. No, we too. And I feel like people say, like, should Karen come back? I feel like Karen need to just not come back. She too old to be dealing with that. I really feel like
she coming back. In fact, I heard that she is coming back because Karen is one of those women. To me, that's a sad situation because my grandmother used to say, "Don't get old for no reason." If you get older, you want to have some wisdom to go along with it. You just get old and have no wisdom. That is a crying shame because now you're old and you're not smarter. And Karen's whole attitude is a lie. She loves to present this front that's not real. We know it's not real. Now she's fabulous with it and it's funny, but at the end of the day, Karen, what was that? The county that she's supposedly the descendant. I mean, it's all a bunch of foolishness. Karen loves to present this facade of being perfect, and we can see that you're not. We can see through it. Same thing with Wendy. We can see that you're trying to be a girl that you're not. You're not that girl. You are just not that girl. You're a smart girl, and actually, you got more going on than they do. Why are you coming down to their level? They should be trying to get to your level.
I do agree with when Candace was saying it was some colorism on the show, though.
Absolutely.
I do feel like I do agree with that. I do feel like the darker women do get scrutinized more. So
I think so. And look at this. Candace actually spoke up and said it. Wendy, who is darker than Candace, instead of speaking out, chases and runs up behind Giselle's behind.
Exactly.
It's like it's sad. It's sad. But I feel like this Potomac is one of the most mean. And I think the reason that it is such filled with mean girls is because of the colorism that is in that area. They do have, when they first came out, it was Ashley, Zell, Robin, all girls that have that typical fair skin behavior and look. And then hit it against.
Sharice was there, but then she ended up leaving. After the first couple seasons. So I believe it.
Sharice wasn't even in their
that DMV area does have that whole PG County thing going on as well. I'm not sure.
Blue blood, babe. Our family comes from, and we don't mix so that we keep everybody fair looking and all that. That those vibes are there, and I feel like it shows in the show.
I agree. I agree. Because colorism is still here and alive and well, baby.
Yeah, and I thank you for saying that. Someone that is fair skinned to be honest about it, because a lot of fair skinned women don't want to act like. I'm like, girl, come on.
I am a true believer in it, and I've had to tell my daughter and my son, just because y'all yellow don't mean shit. You still a to white folks. And I've with me being in social work and a writer as well, I've seen it in media as well. And I've talked about it extensively, and I feel like as a lighter complected woman, it is my responsibility to say it's colorism out here on both sides too, because people purposely target light people as well because we're light, but also the world in general. And you see it when you travel, how darker complected people are treated. I remember when I went to the Dominican Republic and I saw it clearly, because we know Haiti is on one side and DR is on the other. And I noticed how the staff, the ones who were serving us drinks, who were at the front desk. Those were the lighter complected ones, but the ones who were doing the maintenance and the other menial job, they were darker. So
Yeah.
It's for real mentality, and it's something that we have to combat. That we still, and just because you light skin don't mean you cute. So I hate when I see darker complected women bleach their skin, because it's like, you're beautiful, that way.
Yeah.
And part of it too is my friend from Sierra Leone. So I'm me and her, I get where with me and her growing up together, I came to understand what it was like for her being a darker complected woman. So I've always felt like it's my obligation to put that out there and call it out.
No, I think that's important. And I think it's important for us to not shy away from it, but to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's there, it's underlying in all those conversations. It's the way that we don't like to say it. So I'm like, we just got to say it, because we all know what's going on. We all know why Giselle is considered the queen bee. We know why, because of what she looks like. Now, she's a beautiful woman, regardless if she was brown or not. But there's a certain level of prestige that comes with the way she looks because of her skin color.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people like Wendy have grown up with issues. And it's not just, like you said, not just in America, it's all over the whole world. All cultures, everybody pushes the lighter skin to the higher level. So we have to, when we don't talk about it, it's not going to get better.
Wait a minute. Do you feel like, so with you, I would say you're a brown girl. You're in the middle. You're not light or dark. Would you agree?
Yeah.
That so do you feel like as a brown girl, you all get ignored, like the middle child? Because I have girlfriends who said there's like, it's either the dark or the light. It's like, what about us who in the middle?
I don't feel like that at all. In fact, I feel like I was always light brown enough to not get some treatment, and then I was always dark enough not to get others. So I actually think I was kind of cool. When I grew up, in between Ohio and Oklahoma, light skin is always first, but I feel like people looked at it in tears. And so I remember I had a girlfriend who was chocolate, beautiful girl. She was like, Christal, do you ever I look around and think I'm the darkest person in the room. I never felt like that unless I was in a room full of, white people or something like that. But I never was aware of my skin color in comparison to other Black girls like she was. But I also did realize that I got a light skinned girl. My mother is very fair skinned. And people would make a big, that's your mama? And my daughter is very fair skinned. So I tell my daughter, like, hey, but because people treat her different. But I just felt like the middle, we kind of, we don't have some of the issues of either side. I think we kind of, maybe we do disappear in the middle. I never looked at it like that. I never felt like we got ignored. I always felt like, you get what comes to you. But I think it's the color, and I also think it's the features, because I think features that are more like Caucasians were also, the features of the small nose, the green eyes, the little lips, that kind of thing. I grew up and we would hear, oh, well, her features, my girlfriend is Chili. Chili is light brown, but she looks biracial. So it's automatically like that's preferred. So I think that we just all have to, talk about these things, because young women are still dealing with it.
Yes, and absolutely.
Wendy is dealing with it at her big age.
I believe so, because the nose and all the little tweaks she got. And definitely I could tell her mother had bleached her skin like that. That you could tell, like, mom. So, and that's unfortunate, because I think chocolate is gorgeous. I think it's gorgeous.
I think it's chocolate, and it's also us. So if you have thick lips, if you got a thick nose, there's nothing wrong with that. But for so long, we were taught that this is better. So we still deal with that. And I think Potomac is the one show that just has all those issues. It's really bad. It's really, really bad on that show. Atlanta, you got brown skin and chocolate, and it's more Black driven, but there is more prestige, social class. It's real ugly as far as the women and the mean girl issues there. It does feel like Spike Lee's what is
School Days.
School Days. It feels like yes, Potomac is School Days all over again. Absolutely.
It is.
Absolutely.
It is. It's definitely a mean girl vibe, and I don't like it. I just no. That's why. Yeah, I'm watching, but I'm entertained, of course. But I just don't. I wish that we were. I like the scenes when they're supporting each other. I want to see more of that on the show when they're actually supporting each other's ventures. Like when they did the charity situation. Oh no, that was on Atlanta that I was thinking of. But I liked when they showed that when Shamia and they collected the items. And I know those are probably not the episodes that are as high rated, but Potomac is really Mean Girls. And I think Giselle is driving that narrative.
Yeah. And I think but I will say this, some of that's not even her fault. Some of how people treat her is based on what she looks like. I do think some of that's not even her. I think the way the other women respond to her, Wendy wanting to kiss her behind and Ashley being her puppet, that's on them. You know what I mean? That's on them. I think Giselle does have some disconnect issues. I think we see that in every one of her relationships with the friends, even with guys she's dating. She doesn't want to really be honest. Robin didn't really want to be honest. Karen doesn't really want to be honest. Wendy doesn't really want to be honest. Wendy wants to put up the front of being this perfect person. Like Potomac is just not real. And if they're gonna kick off Robin for lying, they need to do some groundwork and get everybody accountable, because Giselle is never honest about what she has going on. You know what I mean? Stacii tried to put her out, but you can't even really get Giselle because she's just not gonna give it to you. She's not gonna give you no energy on it. She's so rooted in being an ice queen that she's not gonna do it.
Yeah, and that's what I don't like about her.
Well, Rocky, I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. Let people know where they can find you. Like I said, you're a writer as well, and I know you have a podcast also. So let people know where they can find you if they're looking to connect with you more.
Absolutely. You can connect with me on Facebook at Rocky Harris. Also on Facebook and Instagram, you see it there at Rocky's Reality. That is my podcast. I'm on Thursdays, 7 to 8 p.m. on Soul TV, on Facebook, YouTube, and Roku. And then also my writing page. And also I provide public relations services. You can find me on Facebook and on IG at Write Down to It. That's WRITE Down to It. And thank you. I appreciate the time, Christal.
Absolutely. This was fun. I hope you'll come back and we could do some more Potomac talk.
Absolutely. Because when Atlanta starts with Pinky Cole,
Girl.
Girl. Listen, I'm ready for that. I love Pinky Cole. It's all the things. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, it's gonna be something. Trust me. It's definitely gonna be
Atlanta's return.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be. But I feel like the Potomac reunion, because I want to hear Wendy respond to these charges. I mean, we're going to have to hear something, girlfriend. We're going to have to hear something. You have to say something. You're going to have to own up to something. We're going to have to hear something besides God is good. I'm just saying.
Right.
Y'all put Mia on the hot seat. So it's time for her to be on the hot seat. Yep. Y'all put Mia on the hot seat when she was lying and her stuff blew up. Then it's, welcome. It's your turn. Yeah. It's your turn.
And while you were skinning and grinning, Wendy, now it's your turn.
Now it's your turn, girl. Welcome. We've been waiting for you.
One thing gonna happen. The tables always turn, baby. The tables always turn.
They do. Well, again, I appreciate you hanging out. This was so much fun. Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, on Wednesday, Scorpio Mo and I will be back with Dating Diaries, and we are breaking down Ready to Love, the first premiere episode for Detroit. You definitely don't want to miss that. Wednesday at 8 p.m. right here on YouTube. So we'll see you guys there. And again, thank you to my co-host for today, Rocky is Reality, for hanging out with me on Grace and Gossip. All right? I'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Thank you. All right. Take care.